All of this over a persimmon. Failed to consider how she might endanger herself. Knowing she has the mind of a child, I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. Looks like they actually have something to say. I'm not scared of her. Not anymore. I can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. Okay. I imagine those are the only ones that have anything different to say. Fruits of her labor. Hien's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided. But at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Suyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Well, not completely oblivious. I don't know if they heard her, you know, saying like it was all true or whatever, or it did happen, or... Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fulminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alize should still be there, conducting their search. So is this now going to lead to the actual exchange, or... It kind of would have been nice and interesting to continue on with her character as Suyu, to see like what they would do with her, but I think because there are kind of parallel storylines of Fordola and Yotsuyu, I think, you know, one of them, you know, needed to... I don't know how you put it, just needed to... Essentially, like, with them going a redemption route with one of them, they needed to not go the redemption route with the other. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. I was sure Yotsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving for seasonal fruit. Lord Hien informed us of the uproar at Namai. Thank the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. Do we have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. It seems our imperial guests have already arrived. 'Tis time to meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Is it her parents? Well, not her parents, but his parents. Because I think hers are died or something.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Yeah.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
Yeah, he's just... I never quite get it right. Like, he's a psychopath or a sociopath, maybe both. Like, he just knows that, you know, to jog her memories of his parents would cause pain. Ugh. It's like the first thing I thought of is like somebody who sees a flower and just has to stamp it out. That's Asahi. I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Suyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gotsetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. Oh, nice. I suppose Suyu is to become an official Doman citizen, but what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever? Or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? Presumably it would take time to reintroduce her, if at all. So it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yatsuyu's presence here will not present further problems. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Suyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder.
Crystals.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord, forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone.
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
I know the crates are crystals, which brings up the summoning, but are we already, like, headed there that quickly?
Help! Help!
That's the foster parents, it looks like.
Help! Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery! You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure.
Jesus.
We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu! What?
I don't know. Looks like justice to me. God. That's how twisted he is. Doesn't even care about his parents. Although maybe they...
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her?
A little bit.
What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Yeah, I didn't remember this, but this actually is quite interesting. Yeah, it's so clearly, like, at least for a few minutes she remembered again, but the mix of her memories with her time as Suyu was enough to at least have some effect on her. You know, enough, I think, you know, to know kindness and to actually regain some compassion, at least for Gotsetsu. But I also find it interesting. It's that, because I was thinking too, how the hell did she go that long without ever getting revenge against her what is that? Adoptive parents, but then they're like her aunt and uncle. Whatever you want to call that. How she never got revenge against them, but I guess that's because they were I don't know so much as hidden away in the capital, but at least kept at a distance from her. Like, you know, she was just kept in Doma. But now she finally gets her revenge, which I, to be honest, kind of find satisfying. As I said, justice. You know, because for people to treat a child that way, it's... Yeah, I think they got what they deserved. And then it seems... My guess is Asahi's plan was to, or is to, probably use Yotsuyu to summon a primal to then say, hey, look, Domans are summoning primals. They need to be stopped. That's my guess. That sounds kind of familiar, but I'm definitely not confident in that. But it sounds about right. So Asahi got his way in the end, and at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? She described him perfectly. Yotsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself when it could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps? But then why would she... Nay, there is not to be gained from such conjecture. So Yotsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I mean, not exactly, but... I cannot say I am surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Asahi's aim in all of this. I mean... trying to wrap your head around... I don't know that he's necessarily insane, but he's certainly, again, psychotic. What's the word I'm looking for? Psychotic and just a sociopathy. I don't know what the... Anyway, we have recovered the Neoris's remains, and we'll hold the cremation anon. Whether they had never again set foot in Doma. Yeah. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. And I can only... Well, I don't... I mean, I would say the next step is the whole Tsukiyomi thing, but I don't know if there'll be something before that. Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight's stream was spectacular. We actually went a little bit longer than normal just to finish off 4.3 because the story is just so good. I remembered liking the Yotsuyu story, but I think I liked it even more now, just picking up on more details that I either forgot or just didn't pick up on the last time, but just so good, so good. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to join me live, then the link to my Twitch is down below. Thank you again for watching. Have a great one.